Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another Incursio the Gamer Dungeons & Dragons quick build video. Today we have our favorite amnesiac protagonist from any gacha game ever, Manager Dante. Now, of course, before we get into this, let's talk about what abilities he has. Also, he is, of course, the Manager Esquire from Limbus Company, the LCB department. Now, he looks, like a clockman. He wears all red and black. He has so much drip, so much aura, but he gets rid of it all by saying something like shuckaroonies. We love him, though. He is so funny. Manager Dante, we play as him in the game, however, he is his own person, ultimately. He is the 10th sinner, I believe. And his head is shaped like a doomsday clock. So, maybe everyone's going to die. There's going to be another pianist level event, and his clock is the one counting down to it. But anyways, he's a derpy little guy. His abilities consist of Golden Bow Resonance, he can locate it, and follow the star, as well as telepathy. He can also turn back the clock to heal his sinners. I mostly based it off of that, as well as his Sapling of Light. Now, he can Pigorita, I think, which is slow all the enemies down or speed the enemies up. Superbia, which is use any one eagle gift without using resources. So I guess that's like, another spell without a spell slot. Cantrips pretty much, and Morostius, which is lower the enemy's level or increase the allies' level. It is equalizing the field pretty much. And his last resort, which he blows himself up. I really like that ability. That's his big source of damage and his only source of damage. But anyways, let's talk his D&D character. Male, Hobgoblin, Cleric 1, Sorcerer 5. Hobgoblin for support. Cleric 1 is going to be your starting class. Sorcerer, you're going to take Clockwork Soul, naturally. Strength, Dex, Con, Intelligence, all dump stats. Who cares about those? Wisdom and Charisma are going to be your up stats. Naturally. Walking Speed 30, AC 10, Initiative 0, Hit Points 28. Of course, you can up that AC to 14 if you just equipped some armor. It does put a disadvantage on your stealth, though. Saving throws, Wisdom, Charisma are going to be good. The rest are dog water. Advantage to avoid or end charm condition. 18, 10, 18 for passive senses, respectively, and dark vision. For your proficiencies, of course, you have proficiency with everything. You just can't really, you don't really need it. For skills, insight, medicine, perception, religion, all these except for religion make sense as he is a leader and he must perceive and heal and help everyone. Religion, maybe that's following the Golden Bow, that's Golden Bow Resonance, who knows. Let's talk actions. Crossbow is the only weapon I gave him, and it's also dog water. You can't do anything with it, really, I'm serious. Unarmed Strike's also really weak. He has Dash, Disengage, Dodge, Grapple, Shove, and he also has Sorcery Points 5, because I put a lot into that. Bonus actions, Fey Gift, Hospitality. Now, Hospitality is great. You can increase hit points, you can increase walking speed, and Spite. You help them give advantage on an attack roll. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say, this one's Pigorita, increasing the walking speed. Morostius, this is advantage. And that target also has target has disadvantage. Apologies. Hospitality, that's just healing, right? Two weapon fighting, you're not going to use that because you have Expeditious Retreat, Healing Word, Sanctuary, all that stuff. Of course, you have all these hospitality stuff, but we talk reactions now. Restore Balance. That's Morostius, like to a T. When they roll a d20 with advantage, disadvantage, you can change that back to rolling straight. That's kind of sick. I like the Hobgoblin. Let's talk others. You have Mending, Alarm, Detect Magic. Fortune of the Many is kind of nice, as you can +3 bonus, up to 3 times a long rest for a saving throw or attack roll. As well as Inspiring Leader, you're 1 feet. Everyone gains a little bit of health. Just go in there. I remember that one moment in, I believe when they were about to fight Zilu. Dante actually locked the hell in. He was like, alright, I remember something that was said once, and it sounded really cool. Let me try saying it. My sinners, kill them all. Like, what the fuck, Dante? Holy shit, man. Go, man. You go, bro. Careful spell. Allow up to 4 creatures to automatically succeed a saving throw of a spell you cast, in case, oh, shit, let me blow up. Heightened spell, of course. Yeah, 1 target disadvantage. Yeah. So, that's when he, maybe hugs the enemy and then blows himself up. Anyways, limited use, you've seen it all. Let's talk spells. This is where it's mostly at. So, as we go into our cantrips, apologies. Let's talk all, actually. So, you have Blade Ward, Friends, Guidance, Light, Mending, Message, Resistance, Sacred Flame, Spare the Dying, and True Strike. Now, he doesn't have Telepathy, but I did just flavor that as message, of course, as it is a communication. Most of these things are for insight, like, oh, for example, Blade Ward. Oh, I have, a little bit of resistance. Friends, guidance, you can help a creature out. True Strike, you gain insight on some of the weaknesses of a creature. You tell your allies as you're watching the fight. You're watching them die over and over and over again, and you heal them back up and say, wait, I found out his weakness. He can't deal with bludgeoning or slashing. That's great. Resistance is also nice. You choose a creature and, they gain a little bit of a resistance or take less damage overall. Spare the Dying's great. They come back. They don't have any risk of dying. Sacred Flame, that's pretty much what's on your head. Yeah. As well as Light, that's what's on your head. Mending, yeah, maybe. That one's kind of a stretch. You don't really heal their weapons. Anyways, now for first level spells, you have Alarm, Bless, Color Spray, Command, Cure Wounds, Detect Magic, Expeditious Retreat, Healing Word, Protection from Good and Evil, and Sanctuary. Most of these things make sense as they're healing oriented spells. I feel like the ones that don't make as much sense are Alarm, as well, he is a clock, and he goes tick, 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 burp, burp, alarm noises, yeah, pretty much. Color Spray, he blinds a creature. Now, initially, admittedly, that isn't, a very Dante thing, but at the end of the day, Dante doesn't have any means of attack. He just kind of, activates his abilities or, tells people what to do. Detect Magic, yeah. Expeditious Retreat, he gets the hell out of there. Or, maybe like Ishmael or Ryoshu can pull him the hell out of there because his movement speed isn't that great. Second level spells are also nice. You have Aid, Detect Thoughts, Enhanced Ability, and Lesser Restoration. Enhanced Ability is Moros Dias. Lesser Restoration, just restoring their body. Detect Thoughts, that happens every so often. I believe it is with Golden Bow Resonance. But yeah, let's see what else. You have Aid, just healing, just tons and tons of healing, bolstering your allies, up to 3 creatures in a range. So if you're maybe running, one of the intervalos where you're only able to use 3, this is nice. Moving forward, let's see, you have Dispel Magic and Fireball and Haste and Protection from Energy. Protection from Energy, it protects his allies, maybe do a little bit of a, oh yeah, Moros Dias again, helps them. Dispel Magic, of course, maybe that's Superbia, using the ego, and, maybe, yeah, just consider it using the ego. It equalizes out to attack skills. Fireball, he blows himself up. He kills himself. He casts Fireball on himself in his spot, dealing damage to himself, but all the enemies with him. Haste, that is Pigorita. That straight up enhances an ally's speed instead of debuffing the ally. As I'm not going to take Warlock for 1 spell slot again. Thank you for someone noting that in my Faust video. Now, of course, that's all your spells. He's a very spell-casting, healing kind of guy. Let's talk inventory. You have all your stuff, of course, for your sessions with the sinners. But your crossbow, your scale mail, that's all you need. You have your robe, good for you. You don't really have anything else. You have a little bit of gold, sure. Features and traits. Let's talk your starter one. Insight, Medicine, spellcasting as well, Life Domain. Whenever you use a spell first level or higher to restore HP, they gain additional 2 plus the spell's level. That's nice. Anyways, Sorcerer, Clockwork Soul, you gain Alarm, Protection, you gain all of these things. You also have Restore Balance. I like Restore Balance. That's kind of why I took it. Font of Magic, of course, you have 5 sorcery points. You can always switch back and forth for whatever you want. Heightened Spell, Careful Spell. Those are nice. As well as Inspiring Leader. That's also kind of nice. A bunch of hit points, right? You want your allies to survive. Let's talk species now. Deep Speech, I figure maybe if everyone in your team speaks Deep Speech, you could do that. As well as being medium, walking speed 30, dark vision, Fey ancestry. I really like Hobgoblin because it's a very support race. Because, Fortune of the Many and Fey Gift. Those 2 things are so overpowered. Each one is their own feat. It's insane. Speaking of feats, Inspiring Leader, you can replace this with Telepathy if you want. And Magic Innate from Acleote. I took Resistance, Sacred Flame, and Healing Word. Now, background. Charisma, Wisdom, Lawful Good male, about 5'8", 140 maybe pounds, average male weight. With fiery hair, and his faith is in the Limbus Company, his sinners, and his friends, his colleagues. Add whatever you want to notes and extras, of course. And yeah, that's pretty much Dante. Now, Shuckaroonies, you don't have anything else? Oh, Shuckaroonies, he's really weak. You build him however you want. This, remember, is just a suggestion. I only build level 6. You build from here on out. You can also change the stats if you want. But ladies and gentlemen, that'll be all for this time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye and good night.